Fair Use Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. August 20th. Toward Emotional Freedom. Since defective relations with other human beings have nearly always been the immediate cause of our woes, including our alcoholism, no field of investigation could yield more satisfying and valuable rewards than this one. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 80. Willingness is a peculiar thing for me in that over a period of time it seems to come, first with awareness, but then with a feeling of discomfort, making me want to take some action. As I reflected on taking the 8th step, my willingness to make amends to others came as a desire for forgiveness of others and myself. I felt forgiveness toward others after I became aware of my part in the difficulties of relationships. I wanted to feel the peace and serenity described in the promises. From working the first 7 steps, I became aware of whom I had harmed and that I had been my own worst enemy. In order to restore my relationships with my fellow human beings, I knew I would have to change. I wanted to learn to live in harmony with myself and others so that I could also live in emotional freedom. The beginning of the end to my isolation from my fellows and from God came when I wrote my 8th step list. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, August 20th. A billboard in my town reads, "Some come to the fountain of knowledge to drink. Some come to gargle." My pre-Al-Anon self would have chuckled at this message, but I would have felt some anxiety about whether I was a drinker or a gargler. Life was either black or white, and in order to feel comfortable, I had to know which extreme applied. But whichever label I pinned on myself would leave me feeling wrong, so I would scramble to fix myself. Now, thanks to Al-Anon, I can accept more easily the thought that sometimes I drink, sometimes I gargle, and sometimes I stub my toe on the fountain as I stumble by. I don't have to do better or differently. The best that I can do is good enough. I can relax and enjoy the joke. Today's reminder. Al-Anon encourages me to examine my thoughts and actions, but this is meant as an act of self-love, not as a weapon to use against myself. When I begin to accept myself exactly as I am, life will feel a lot more gentle. There is a quote from As We Understood, and it reads, "Sometimes we try so hard that we fail to see that the light we are seeking is within us." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, August 20th. Facing Death. Often we have to face some type of crisis during our recovery, such as the death of a loved one. Basic text, page 102. Every life has a beginning and an end. However, when someone we love a great deal reaches the end of their life, we may have a very hard time accepting their sudden final absence. Our grief may be so powerful that we fear it will completely overwhelm us, but it will not. Our sorrow may hurt more than anything we can remember, but it will pass. We need not run from the emotions that may arise from the death of a loved one. Death and grieving are parts of the fullness of living life on life's terms. By allowing ourselves the freedom to experience these feelings, we partake more deeply of both our recovery and our human nature. Sometimes the reality of another's death makes our own mortality that much more pronounced. We reevaluate our priorities, appreciating the loved ones still with us all the more. Our life and our life with them will not go on forever. We want to make the most of what's most important while it lasts. We might find that the death of someone we love helps strengthen our conscious contact with our higher power. If we remember that we can always turn to that source of strength when we are troubled, we will be able to stay focused on it no matter what may be going on around us. Just for today, I will accept the loss of one I love and turn to my higher power for the strength to accept my feelings. I will make the most of my love for those in my life today. Today, Emotions Anonymous, August 20th. Reflection for today. Are you angry and upset? Who, me? Heavens no. I don't let things like that bother me. Sound familiar? It is the first denial of a feeling, saving face and trying to preserve my I don't care attitude. Now I start to think and mull the incident over in my mind. It consumes me. My stomach starts to churn as resentment builds. No, nothing is bothering me. I'm just tired. Second, denial. My concentration is shot. I cannot think. Disorientation has my mind whirling. A sudden noise or a question from a child or a broken dish starts up my yelling machine. No, nothing is wrong. Leave me alone. Third, denial. Hopefully, the yelling has allowed me to let off some steam. If not, the next phase could be striking out physically at persons closest to me. Now, let me turn the clock back. Are you angry and upset? Yes, I am. Let's talk this out and get it settled right now. No denial, no turmoil, no temporary pain. What a difference. Meditation for today. Give me the courage to admit and accept my feelings instead of denying them. Today I will remember nipping it in the bud can save me from full blossomed pain. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics' dysfunctional families. August 20th. Survival traits. The safe harbor we find in ACA meetings is the starting point for transforming our survival traits. BRB page 112. The dysfunction we grew up with grabbed hold of many of us with such powerful claws that we learned to perform to suit the needs of others. We took on behaviors that helped us survive the best way we knew how. Some of our survival traits were so integrated into our psyche that we felt like two people inside, the person we learned to be and the one who was emotionally dying to break free. But even as adults, we had no clue about what to change and how to change it. We just knew that we had to find a way out if we were ever to have a chance at experiencing a normal life. ACA is that way out. It is a proven path that leads to new ways of thinking and being, but it's not easy. Transformation takes time and energy. It also takes self-acceptance and self-forgiveness because we will inevitably slip and slide. That's why we need to know that we don't have to be on this journey alone. The affirmation reads, on this day, if I find myself slipping, I will take a deep breath and pick up the phone. I am no longer alone. Please share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be. To remember, that recovery is possible and that you are not alone, one day at a time.